Hello, hello to my masculine energies out there, to all my men viewers and subscribers in the making going forward. How are you? I hope you are good. I am very excited. First off, my name is Mygleetus, owning this channel that has been dedicated to my men audience. Welcome to Masculine Empowering Oracles by me, Mygleetus. As I said, this is a channel that has been dedicated to you, my men followers, subscribers, viewers that will come across this channel later on, as I know that because this is the first video that is being debuted for this channel, I know at this time I am talking to a blank canvas, a blank audience. But as I said, as I am coming to you and will be uploading this very powerful channel to you with very positive inspiration, motivation, everything positive to the best that I can give you. And so going forward, as I said, I felt the need to dedicate a channel for my men audience, because at the end of the day, you too need love, you need encouragement, you need motivation, you need encouragement. And so generally when there are channels that do tarot and oracle readings, they are reading for everyone, for the collective, which would be the feminine and masculine energies combined. But generally they not geared specifically to a specific gender. But I just felt the need that this channel would be very special to you guys, because as I said, I really wanted to just support you, help assist you in your with the areas and the concerns that you might have while you too navigate through this world, as we all can use a boost of encouragement. And so why should you be neglected while doing so, right? So as I said, welcome to the debut of this channel. I hope that as we go along, I hope that you will find the messages very encouraging and motivational. And if you do, you know what I want you to do. I want you to first like the channel. If you do like it, hit that thumbs up to like it. I want you to subscribe to this channel, as you will support this channel, but also share with your buddies, share with your friends, so you can bring them on board to get some inspiration. But last but not least, if you are ready to be empowered and to step into the warriors that you were meant to be, this is the channel for you. No ladies allowed. Sorry ladies, this is only for the fellas. So I wanted to put that out there. So as I had stated in my video, I did upload a pre-intro video to give you guys a heads up as to what to expect and how the channel will proceed moving forward. I also mentioned two decks that I will, or if I didn't, I'm going to do so now. There will be two decks in particular that I will start off with for this channel. And the first oracle deck that will be used on this channel is Masculine Architect deck. This is a very beautiful deck, but it's not about well, actually, I just want to say, first and foremost, I searched and was trying to figure out, well, what deck or decks that I will use on this channel. And so when I put the information in, this deck was like the most best deck to use for appearing to the masculine energies. So again, it's called Masculine Architect deck. It is a very beautiful, I just want to just say that the introduction or the presentation of this box to bring the cards out is very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So I am a stickler, or I'm a sucker for nice presentations and nice packages. So I think the presentation to this for you is very beautiful, very nice. That means that a lot of thought was given into creating not only the deck of cards, but just the presentation of it, of the cards. And when you open it, it has this very nice message here. It says, Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. And that is actually what I want to do. I want to be able to help awaken the areas of your life that need a little adjustment, need a little reinforcement, because now all of us, regardless of gender, we all need reinforcements. We all need adjustments from time to time when it comes to the shadow side of oneself, because we all have shadow sides. We all have challenges. And when we look inside ourselves and we become truthful to understand that there's some work or improvements that need to be done in certain areas, then that's the first step to beginning to change and to shift the way in which we think, but in which we behave in our thoughts and our actions. And at no time will this channel judge any of those behaviors or patterns. It will just be a nudge to just give you an illumination that this area needs improvement. Because like I said, we all have work to be done. Nobody knows everything. Nobody will be perfect, because perfect do not exist. But we can be the best versions of ourselves that we can get and reach our full potential, where everything we create will become balanced. So sometimes the scales within ourselves, sometimes it's off, sometimes it's not balanced. So I'm hoping that as we move forward, that I will help you guys to balance yourself to your fullest potential. All right? So with that being said, before we start, something that I like to do, and I do this on my other channel because I do have another channel where I do tarot and oracles. And I have another channel. I actually have 3 channels. So this is not the only channel, but this is my new recent channel that I'm very excited about. But it's something that I do. And what I like to do is to clear the energy field, to clear the area, to clear the space at this time, so that anything that is vibing low, any negative energies will be removed, so that we can focus on positive messages, positive energies, and at the same time to help elevate our vibrations to our highest. So I am using a sage cinnamon stick to do so. So give me a few minutes while I work up a flame here. Give me a second because my fan is on, so I'm going to turn it because it's delaying the flame that I want to get that smoke. This is a thick cinnamon stick, so it's going to take a little bit longer to get a flame. All right, that should be good enough. Nice smoke. All right, Spirit, please, I ask that you remove any negative low vibratory frequencies and vibrations at this time, to clear and bring in positive energies at this time between me and my audience. Thank you, Spirit. All right, so I cleansed our energy field, and that will be something that I will generally do before we actually start and get into the reading. All right, so I hope you can appreciate that. So and here are the cards. So this will be the deck that I will use going forward with you guys on this channel. As well, I do want to introduce another deck, because for now I will be using 2 decks primarily as we start. And then the other deck is Messages from the Guides. As I mentioned in my intro video, that this channel will not only focus on your personal developmental growth, but it will also tap into your spiritual growth as well. so that as you dive into your inner self, in addition to adjusting and working on your personal, the personal areas of your life, at the same time, believe it or not, you're also tapping into understanding your spiritual growth. What does it mean? We all have a life purpose here. And if we are ready to awaken what it means, or awaken to what is our spiritual life path, this is the deck that will help to identify that as well. So I will start off with the Masculine Architect deck, and then this will be the next deck that I will use behind those, because it will emphasize or focus on the areas that came out, and it will just only help you to tap into, combine now both of those areas. So when you work on your personal, you're actually also working on your spiritual understanding of what it means, of what you were meant to do on a spiritual level. All right, so again, it's called Messages from Your Guides, because it's important that we also get insights, that we get messages. We all have spirit angels, we all have spirit guides, and we have to learn to know how to tap into them, because after all, they are there for our protection. But when we take a moment to go into that hermit mode, that quiet moment, that is where we can truly connect with them on a higher level for our highest good. All right, so again, those are the two decks that I will use for this channel. And so, as I said, I hope that the messages that you receive will be of your benefit and you will find it encouraging. And you will let me know by dropping me a comment into the comment box to let me know how inspired you are by the messages of your readings. All right, so without further ado, I'm sorry that all that was said, but I was just moved to say what I said, because there was a reason. Whatever I'm moved to say, whatever I feel compelled to just bring out, it comes from my heart in a genuine manner. And so never think that it's something that it's not necessary, because I'm being guided by my spirit team. And so whatever messages or whatever thought that I want to bring out, it will be to the benefit of you. All right, so please excuse the noise. So before we actually start drawing from the deck and pulling out cards, I do want to go into the book. This is the book that came with the deck. All right, and while I was kind of going through the book and just getting familiar with, again, the further messages and the understanding of what this deck will bring and what it would mean to you, I thought it would be very important as well to just kind of give you, my men audience, a heads up on really to understand how this deck and how this channel overall will be of your benefit. What is its purpose? What purpose will it serve? All right, so as you can see, I put some yellow stickers on certain pages that I kind of wanted to just read to you. Now, because this is the first video, it will be a little long, but going forward, I will not try to make the videos too long, because when it goes too long, sometimes you lose the pungent message, you know, when something is kind of drawn out. But only for today, because this is the channel's debut, and it's just my way of just introducing everything I can, that you can understand how the channel will continue to move going forward. All right, so I just want to just point out just certain messages to understand archetypes. So I underline this, or I flag this message, because I think you will kind of get an idea of what certain phrases, when I spoke about empowerment and spoke about stepping into the warriors that you was meant to be. This is a point here that it was mentioned. It says, when imagining a warrior, what comes to mind? You might picture them as courageous, disciplined, and decisive, You might not know where you got the impression, but you can easily conjure up a warrior's characteristics in your mind. Myths, movies, and cultural narratives reinforce these ideas. The qualities of a warrior can seem so familiar because they are part of our collective unconscious. You do not need to be a bodybuilder with perfect abs to invoke the warrior within your life. Whenever you connect to your determination, loyalty, and assertive nature, you summon the warrior within you. And this is so true. Like the same thing like with us ladies. When we look at other women's, bodies, we feel like that defines what beauty is about, that defines confidence. In actuality, it does not, because what defines confidence is the attitude that you have internally, because it starts from within. And what is created and worked on from the inside, it will exude to the outside, to the external. It's not the physical, it's the internal attitude that one have to define what is truly confident, what is something to be led by example. And in this particular instance, because it is to you, the masculine, most men feel like a warrior have to have that six-pack. A warrior have to have a certain body type to be able to even be considered or looked at as a warrior. But as I just read, you can see that a warrior is not about the physical. It's not about the physicalities of the external. But what did it says defines a warrior? It says when you connect to your determination, your loyalty, and assertive nature, that you summon the warrior within. So the warrior-like mentality starts from within. It's your inner knowing. It's what you begin to create within yourself. And so as we go along, I will help you to journey inside yourself to understand what yourself needs to bring out, to activate that warrior that you were meant to be. So I thought that was very interesting, that I wanted to bring out. And I think that some of you might appreciate that as well. Some of you might have low self-esteem about how you look, or you might feel like, I need to work on my body, I need to get back and work out. Yes, that's always a good thing to work out and to consciously be mindful that, you want to be in shape. You want to be in the best possible, health, that is. But health doesn't define the physical way that a person or the body looks, in other words. It's really what stems from the inside, and then everything else will fall into place. Now, the next message or the next information I kind of wanted to share with you is understanding about the shadow aspects of oneself. And as I mentioned earlier, right at the start of this, that we all have shadow sides of us. We all have it, which means then that the shadow side is the lower side. That's the side that needs work. It's also the behavior that vibrates on a low, but where there are challenges along the way. And so sometimes we can tackle that. All of us can tackle, regardless of your gender, female, male, masculine, feminine. We all struggle with our shadow selves at times. But in doing so, because it's a part of human nature, but in doing so, or realizing that, it's how far, how much of that are we looking to control? Because there is a part where at some point we will have to control those shadow selves, because if we allow those shadow sides to continue, it can result sometimes to our own detriment. It can result in outcomes that we really don't want to happen. And so there's a need to keep it in check, to control it, to reevaluate how we can begin to make some adjustments. So the shadow aspects, it says the shadow is a moral problem that challenges the whole ego personality, be it male or female. For no one can become conscious of the shadow without considerable moral effort. To become conscious of it involves recognizing the dark aspects of the personality as present and real. The act is a central condition for any kind of self-knowledge. And so this is what I was saying, is that once we become aware of it, once we see that this is perhaps a behavior that now has become out of control, we reevaluate and we think about, okay, this is going too far. This is getting out of hand. The fact that you realize it, that's the first step to overcoming and to adjusting that shadow behavior. All right? And so when it comes to the architects, it says that there are the overactive, we have the underactive, and then there's the major aspects. And as we go along with the reading and as we pull out cards, each and every time we're going to get more familiar and more deeper into those kind of archetype aspects of the shadow side. All right? So that is another area that I wanted to point out. And let's see. So basically, again, just for re-emphasis, the world is wild. It says it can be a constant barrage of change, disappointment, victories, and growth. And so I'm going to leave it there. I wanted to point that out because, as I mentioned about why I wanted to do this channel, it was to support you masculine energy as you navigate through this world that you will experience or are experiencing change, whether it be in your environment, whether it be in your relationships, whether it be just change within your own mind's eye. We deal with just victories, you deal with growth, and sometimes going through those changes, sometimes it can really interfere with growth because there's so much going on and we become overwhelmed what the world throws at us. So I hope that, like I said, this channel will help kind of tap into those areas of disappointment and change to see how moving forward you can better control your environment and those around you in that environment. So not only will it help you, but it would also help those that you may live with on the home front. Give me a second. I need to hydrate my palate. I hope everyone is staying cool. The first day that I'm recording this video, it is very warm and hot, depending on where you will be coming from when you do come across this video. More than likely, most places, this is the summertime here from the East Coast. I am from the East Coast. And here in New York, it's very warm and hot. And it has been for the past couple of days. So it's been, and this is why too, I had planned to bring you this video or this channel sooner. But because of the heat, my energies was depleted and it was just way too hot for me to even begin to maintain enough energy that I can come before you to do this channel. So not that today is any easier, but I managed to go around it. And I forgot, let me turn my fan back around to me. So it's bearable at this time, but I was very excited. I did not want to delay it and push it back anymore because I'm excited, as I hope that you guys will be excited as well. So again, the purpose and the aim is to tap into those changes, to tap into the disappointments as well as the victories, because you will have victories along the way, whether it be victories within your own life, whether it be victories on the job and career front, whether it be personal victories, whatever victories that you will have. So you have the good and you have the highs and you have the lows. So we all need to be able to balance and juggle those different changes while we, like I said, navigate in kind of go through this maze on a single day, every day. All right. And there's one more point that I wanted to bring out, and then we'll begin to pick and draw from the deck. So basically, when I pull, it's just basically just letting me know that you will get the past, you will get the present, and you will get the future. And what I mean by that is you will be able to understand what would be the overall outcome in terms of the progress that you are making with whatever area of your life that needs to be reinforced, that needs to be adjusted. All right, everyone? So I hope that all of that was very helpful to you to better understand the concept and the reason behind bringing you this channel, particularly for the fellas. All right, so without further ado, let us begin by pulling some cards. And I think I will, for now, because this is a new channel, everything is new, I don't want to overdo it. And I think, again, I don't want to pull too many cards, because I think when we take it slow and steady, and just pull just a few. So I think I would just only pull 3 cards, and we would just focus in on those 3 cards at a time. But also, what will extend the time is that because with each of them, I'm going to go in after I intuitively pick up how I interpret the message that comes out. I will be going back to the book to give you the additional extended messages. This way you will have the overall understanding of really what is needed, and to understand what is the message trying to tell me toward my personal growth. All right? Just want to give the cards a good shuffle. Spirit of the highest white light, ask you that you give 3 cards, 3 messages of what my men audience need to know at this time. What areas that they need to know at this time for their better good, for their highest purpose, to reach their fullest potential. Cut the deck. Thank you. All right. 2 more, please. Strategist. And 1 more card. All right. Okay. So, the 3 cards that came out, one of which is deadbeat, and we're going to get into that. The other card that came out, strategist, and we're going to tap into that energy or the message. And then last but not least was crossing the threshold. Okay? So those was the 3 cards. And obviously there are messages. Now also note, as I also mentioned on my other tarot channel, that whatever cards come out, whatever messages is interpreted, the message will not resonate with all the masculine energies, okay? Because some of you may be okay in that area. So if you're okay with that area, it's okay. Just leave it. Take what resonates with you. Take what you can relate as your story, because as I said, not everyone will resonate. This will not be everyone's story. So let me just make that clear right off the bat. So don't panic and feel like whatever messages is here that it's for all the masculine energies. No, because remember, this is still a general message or still general reading for all the masculine. So there will be some messages that will be your story. You will identify with it. You might be currently going through that, or it might be something that just need a little improvement. So don't take it as a negative, all right? Because when you take it as a negative, that's how you would feel about it. You would get that emotion to feel like you are guilty. And it's not something that you may not feel guilty about, or you may feel guilty about, but just know that the messages that come across is for your highest benefit. And as I said, this channel will not judge, all right? So regardless of what comes out, it's not going to be judged, but just look at it as a learning experience and something that is just kind of giving whoever that it will resonate for a nudge to improve in that area, all right? So it talks about deadbeat. So I'm sure you heard this term. And so this card is just kind of giving someone out there who this will resonate for. It's just giving you a heads up that it's time to turn your attention to your children, all right? Whatever it is that is going on in your life that you may have neglected your children, maybe you haven't been supporting them monetarily, but also know that even if you support your child monetarily, it doesn't mean that there are other areas that need your attention in terms of your children. And a lot of times you fellas may think that, well, you know, I'm definitely good in that area in terms of providing for them financially. And for those that do, wonderful. Keep up the good work. That's a very good thing, because at the end of the day, it is your obligation. And, you know, it's important because you want them to have the things that they truly need. All right. However, again, don't feel that because you financially support them that that is the be all, because it's not. There are other ways that you can be there for your children. Because when you really look, I'm going to put it up to the camera very closely. If you look, I'm trying to get, there we go. I'm going to tilt it so you can see. If you look, there's an image of a father there. He's a head, right? And then here you see a child, whether it's a girl or a boy, it doesn't matter. Gender is not relevant here. It just shows a depiction of a child who's behind this father. And when I look at this, even when I was working with the deck and I came across this card, I felt intuitively that looking at this child, she's like crying, she's pleading, she's reaching out, calling to him, saying, Dad, I want you. I need your affection. I need your love. Yes, you just took me to the store and you bought me clothes. And I like the toys that you got me, but I just want you. It used to remind me of my daughter when she was younger. She was like, I want you, I want you. You know, she always wants me, and that's fine. But the point is that kids really need their father, and especially if it's a boy. Boys need their dads, because dads are examples. It should be an example to your boy. They look up to their dads, just like girls look up to their mothers. But boys, there is something special. There's a bond that is there between a father and a son. And so when I see this, like I said, it's just really just giving whoever this will resonate with, you would know who you are. Like I said, this is not to be judged. This is just a nudge. Not to be judged, but a nudge nonetheless. To just let a father out there knows, turn around, do an about face, and focus on your child. Give that child some love, give it some attention, spend time with your child. And then for those of you that perhaps have not been supporting your child financially, well then again, it's a reminder that you need to. Okay, it might be burdensome on the mother who is trying everything she can to provide for this child or for kids. If you have more kids with the mother of this child, you know, she might be very burdened down. She's struggling to support this child. So the card just comes to you to just give you that reminder how very important it is to just be there for your child and help them in any way possible. But first and foremost, you definitely want to focus on giving them the financial support, because they need to eat, they need clothes. You know, there are things that they need. If they have health issues, they constantly go to the doctor, they need, you know, medicine, whatever that child needs. But do so, even if you're not with the mother of this child or of your child, co-parent. Co-parent is something that where both parents are not together for whatever reason and you're living differently. So don't let the distance, don't let the fact that you are not living in the same household take away your responsibility, because it is an obligation and it is a responsibility. All right. So if you can't physically give financial support to the mother, you can wire the money, you can send a check, you can send a money order. There are different ways that you can financially support this child. But even if you are in another state or city and you don't see your child, make it your priority to find the time to devote to your child, whether it be just a day, whether it be a weekend, whatever it is. It's so very important. And things happen, unfortunately, where families are separated and it takes a parent out of the home. But never, to the best of your ability, never want to own this type of phrase, deadbeat, because we have heard it, and it's generally, unfortunately, linked to the so-called black men. It's linked to men of color, and you don't want to be labeled as that. Now, this title can also, regardless of your race or culture, this definitely can resonate regardless of who you are. Your ethnicity-wise, it doesn't matter. But it's just that this here phrase is like a stereotype to the so-called, to our so-called black men. And so, like I said, don't put yourself under this type of stereotyping label. You know, you want to try your best to, like I said, in any way possible, to give love and affection. And for those, again, that do give financially, you want to be able to not have this child vying for your love and attention. You want to give that child love and affection in any way possible. And believe it or not, sometimes kids will appreciate that if they haven't seen you for a while. They haven't seen you. You know, they will move away from that toy and they will come towards you because, like I said, there's some type of a bond that lies there between a father and a son, as a daughter and her mother. All right? So that's what I feel intuitively, that it may be someone there that just may need a little focus on that particular area. All right, for those of you, you would know how that would resonate. And if it is your story, then I hope that by me expressing and interpreting what the message is there, I hope that you truly can in some kind of way work to adjust that area. All right, let us kind of go in deeper with that meaning. Bear with me, because the only thing that I don't quite like is that it doesn't have numbers on the card, so I have to go to the back of the index to look up the card and then get the page number. All right, so here we go. So this deadbeat card, it is the part of the archetype shadow side aspect of this type of pattern or behavior. And so we all know that this card has reference to absence, distance, and irresponsibility. So as I said, if there's an absence that is taking place with someone, it may be more than one, you would know if this is your story. But there's an absence there that is taking you away, as I said, from bonding and spending time with your child. And it says, deadbeat runs away from his responsibilities out of fear of losing his freedom or out of lack of confidence. As a coping mechanism, he becomes detached and absent. This could mean he isn't there physically or emotionally. And that's what I said. You might be there financially, but then what about the other aspects to being a father? There's the physical, and then there's the emotional aspects that the child is not getting from you, which is very important and vital, just as the financial aspect is. The deadbeat must come to terms with the pain his absence causes and the dedication it will take to protect those he loves. He must face his resistance to responsibility and his trauma around abandonment to heal. When working with the deadbeat archetype, look at how you fulfill your responsibilities. If caring for someone else feels like a burden, explore why it feels draining. You cannot blame age, ignorance, or anyone else in the world on your failure to invest in your relationships. It's on you to accept your responsibility to be present. When working with this card, ask yourself, is there anything holding you back from loving someone else profoundly? So again, it's just drawing attention to the fact that look into the emotional, look into the physical aspects of giving of yourself to your child. Because when you do so, only then will you be able to remove yourself from this label. This is not a very good label that you want to be known as. So work on this. You can do it. Work on it. And as the Patrick says, it might be fear. It might be where you might feel burdened some kind of way. Perhaps you're unemployed and you feel that, I cannot give. It happens. So if you are not able to give financially, there are other ways you can compensate. While of course you are looking to find employment, but until that happens, find other ways. Go and spend time with your child. If you are in the same household, because it can happen as well that you could be in the same household, but you are on the outside, engaging in other things that takes you away out of the home, and you're not there spending time with your child. So this can really touch on any way that you can look at this. So if, like I said, this is your story, if this is an area that you know deep down that you are struggling with, it's just enough to let you know to just kind of pay attention, turn your attention to your child, because at the end, it will be something that will truly be something that they would appreciate. But guess what? You will appreciate it too, because now what once was this struggle or burden for you, now you were able to overcome it. You were able to work on that shadow self, that lower self, to elevate yourself to something much better that you can be proud of for yourself, but as a parent. All right? We're going to move on to the next one. The next card is Strategist. When I look at this card is just showing me perhaps this is something that, for those of you, this is maybe I'm feeling like this is relating to work, career. Perhaps some of you are going into business for yourself. Maybe you're trying to get into some kind of entrepreneurship kind of business. And for those of you fellas out there that are looking to build your own empire, so to speak. Maybe you're at a point in your life where now, you know what, I don't want to work for nobody. I want to be able to work for myself and enjoy the fruits of my own labor. And so strategist comes to my mind about being strategic. Maybe you are in the process of creating what it is that you want on the career front, something that's going to fulfill you. Because we all know that working for other people, it's not going to give us 100% fulfillment. But working for yourself, being able to start your own business, being able to be your own boss, it's really fulfilling. It really feels good to be your own boss, because you are not being boss, you are becoming your own boss and going forward. You're working toward that. So when I think about this card, like I says, you might just be taking some time to kind of think about ways that you can bring what you are creating in your mind, your thoughts, you're trying to bring it out into fruition. So whatever it is that you're thinking about, you're dreaming about, it starts within your mind, but you are being strategic in terms of how you can be innovative with moving forward. So this is what and how I interpret the strategist card to be. But let's go in deeper and see exactly the message and what can be learned about that card energy. So the strategist, page 66. Okay, so strategist. It's practical, calculated, systematic, to cultivate, investing, practicing tactics, and that's what I said. You are investing in something. You are investing in yourself on the long term. Working for people is just short term. Even if you find yourself having been at your job or your work for years, it's never going to be the kind of fulfillment that you would get if you really work for yourself. So as I said, some of you out there might be in this process of really investing in starting your own business, and you're just looking for ways that will be practical, but at the same time you are trying to calculate when this will all take place and happen for you. So it says the strategist uses his intellect to find the most effective path to reach his goal. He is practical, successful, driven, and calculated. Exploring all possibilities enables him to make systematic plans. He is skilled in overseeing and enacting the details needed to complete his objective. The strategist has to be open to being wrong and to opposing opinions. I'm going to wait till that passes. I don't know what's going on in this area. This is a couple of times I'm hearing this helicopter or whatever going around in this area. So excuse the sound. I'm going to go back to where I left off. It says, exploring all possibilities enables him to make systematic plans. He is skilled in overseeing and enacting the details needed to complete the objective. The strategist has to be open to being wrong and to opposing opinions. This helps him continually evaluate his logic and perspective. He knows there is danger in being blinded by assumption. The strategist does well when surrounded by sound counsel and opposing viewpoints. The strategist can struggle with any project or person that doesn't have a clear goal. His need for efficiency can be seen as callousness. Since people's mistakes can profoundly affect his strategy, he can become guarded and detached. If the strategist isn't careful, the community, his most valuable asset, will abandon him. When working with the strategist, look at how you can create and achieve your goal. Do you have clarity on every step and each working piece? Could you sacrifice one element or enrich another to make you more likely to succeed? So there you have it. There's the extended message of strategists. So in line with what I said about perhaps growing your own business, but again, let's look at those that are working for someone, that you are employed by a company. Maybe you are in a position where perhaps you are about to be, promoted. Or maybe you are looking to be promoted. And so maybe you have thought about a strategic way, a tactful way, something that's going to help the company grow more. Maybe you have an idea, a thought about how to better help the company move ahead. And by doing so, it will kind of put you in the company's way of looking at you being very brilliant because of your idea. And it may land you a promotion. It's going to give you some type of recognition along the way, which of course is going to be good to one's ego, because I know the fellas, you like your ego. So perhaps, being brilliant with this idea for the company will pay off in the long run. So it can also relate and work with those that are employed with a company. But for those of you that are definitely looking to kind of work toward building your own business, this is what it's about. So whatever ideas you have, continue with those ideas, because I feel that anytime someone really kind of step out of the norm of working for somebody and want to just kind of venture out on their own, I think, not that it doesn't have, some cons, because, well, let's just say the pros can outweigh the cons, all right? And what I mean by cons is that there may be, especially when you're starting out for yourself, it's going to take a lot of finance to kind of get the things you need. Generally, it takes a moment before you can see any type of return or profit, so that is like just the downside to when you're starting out for yourself. But no, with determination, with diligence, and with hard work, to want to complete that goal, you will achieve it. If you believe it, you can achieve it. All right? So that's what I got from that card. And then the next card that came out was crossing the threshold. And immediately I am drawn back to this strategist card here. You can see that this is crossing the threshold. So this means that you're going to get there. In terms of whatever your goal idea is, you are crossing that threshold. You are going into something that is going to be fulfilling. You're going to something that is going to give you empowerment along the way. But also, I can go back to the first card about the deadbeat, and it just shows you that you are actually going to overcome this challenge. You are going to become that parent, that father that is going to do right. You're going to cross that threshold. You're going to get through it. So I'm looking at that too. So this card, this card here can tie in with both of these cards. So you're going to cross the threshold when it comes to strategizing for your business or your career. And you're going to cross that threshold when it comes to improving on becoming a better father. You're going to cross that threshold. You're going to be fine. You're going to succeed. You're going to work on that lower self, and you're going to elevate yourself to your highest. And you're going to feel good about it. All right? So let us go and skip the extended message. Extended additional meanings of crossing the threshold. Now just know that because I intuitively interpret them on my own, it may not coincide with the general meaning, but I have a feeling that when I interpret, whatever it is that I interpret toward it, it's because I'm just going with what I feel is taking place. And so as I interpret it, it's just that when I go into the book, I'm giving you additional meanings. So it can be how I interpret the meanings of the card, but also you're getting, like I said, those additional meanings that it could also relate to as well. All right? So 72. All right, here we go. Crossing the threshold. It says here, The call to adventure has come. The characters are set, and now is the first step into the unknown. When the hero crosses the threshold, he has committed to the adventure. So you have committed yourself to being that father that you know deep down you needed to be. You committed to improving in that area. You have committed to yourself to build your empire, to build that business. You committed yourself to the work that was needed to get to build that business. And the process of transformation begins. Trust is crucial in this phase. The threshold can look external, such as losing a job, we talked about that, or internal, like stopping an addictive pattern. Crossing the threshold is the moment you jumped off the cliff and started running toward it. After crossing the threshold, you can try and turn back, but the forces of change are already in motion. Your old life will never seem the same. This is when you have agreed to face the consequences and deal with the challenges ahead. When this card appears, look at the moments that have defined a radical change in your life, or ask yourself, what commitments have you just entered? What commitment to change can you make that will change your life? So that's what I said. When it comes to the matter of being a better father, I see that you will have overcome that challenge, that you will work on, that you're going to improve on this area. All right? When it comes to being committed to starting your own business, you're going to start anew. You're going to start fresh. You're going to come up with the ideas and the brilliancy to be able to jumpstart whatever it is. So basically, this card overall means whatever it is in your life that you are trying to accomplish, whatever it is, this card also can denote a transformation in oneself. So if there's an area in your life that you know you want to improve upon, this is a transformation. There's a metamorphosis that is taking place within you. You went inside yourself. You went into a hermit mode to really self-evaluate what area that you wanted to improve on, and guess what? You succeeded. You came out knowing that you needed to make this change, but the change for the better. And I see that it was a change that you did overcome and a change that you were willing to work toward. All right? Those are the 3 messages that came out for you from your Architect deck. And I am going to now move on to the next deck, which I mentioned, the messages from the guides. We are now going to tap into your spiritual side. For those of you that are, it doesn't matter if you're religious or spiritual. To be spiritual doesn't necessarily mean to be religious in a sense where, let's put it this way. To be spiritual comes within you. You are your own temple. Okay? Spirituality comes from within. It's the inner knowing. When you take time to meditate, to connect with your spirit guides, you are connecting to your inner knowing. And when you connecting to your inner knowing, you are connecting to your divine source, your divine power. Everything starts from within. So, not that it's wrong for those of you that go to church, or you go to a synagogue, you go to a temple, that's fine. Again, I'm not judging, but for those of you sometimes feel like, you just want to be able to understand yourself on a spiritual another level. And so by doing that, you can. It starts from within. It starts from within. And so whenever it is that we connect to our spirit team, to our spirit guides, to the universe, when we connect to Allah, whoever it is your belief system is, we all have a belief. And so however it is that makes you comfortable, know that it is for your highest good. We always want to get insight and guidance, just like angels. We all have angels that watches and protects us. It's time that we get to know them on a personal level. But when we get insight and guidance from our angels and our guides, they're not going to steer us in the wrong way. They're going to give us further encouragement. They're going to give us what we need to know moving ahead while we navigate on this earthly plane here. So I always like to, I meditate every morning and I draw cards for myself. I draw oracles and I get guidance and information I need to know to help me through the day. Because each day there will be a struggle. Each day we need some type of inspiration along the way, right? So this deck is going to kind of tap into your spiritual knowing in terms of what it is, what your purpose is, what you need to improve on to better understand your life path and what your journey is on a spiritual level. All right? And I'm going to pull out 3 cards again to match the energies with the current cards at this time. Okay, Spirit, thank you. Wow, I like that first card. I'm going to go into it in a minute. 2 cards, please, Spirit guides. Thank you. Get 2 cards. Okay. And 1 more card. Spirit. All right. I love the messages. All right. So the 3 cards that came out is you are here for a reason. All right. As I said, we all have a spiritual path. We all have a life purpose. And sometimes it's not clear on what our purpose is. So we're going to get into that. And then the next card is release toxic relationships. And then the last card we got was make each day count. All right. So let's go back to the first one. You are here for a reason. As I said, each and every one of us, there's a reason. We have a life path. The only way that we can actually tap into what it is by taking time to go into a quiet space. Meditation. I meditate every day. I have a meditation channel where I do guided meditation sessions. And for those of you that are actually interested to want to come over to that channel and get some guided sessions there, I will put the link down into my description so that you can follow me there as well. But when I meditate, that's my moment. That's my happy space, but it's my quiet moment to not only to center myself and ground myself, because meditation doesn't only ground you, it doesn't only nourish your mind, body, and soul, but meditation as well is also a way to connect to your higher source, to your divine. It gives you that quiet moment to listen to the inner voice that comes in. They say quiet gives you answers. And when you think about it, when you are in a noisy or very, crowded place or anything that is going to distract you, any type of interruptions, you can't really think and focus on how to connect with anything. So that quiet moment is very imperative to be able to understand what really am I here for. I'm sure all of us at some point have asked, why I'm here? What is my reason? What is my purpose? What is my journey on the spiritual path? What is my spiritual journey? All right. So this card is very to the point. We are here for a reason, each and every one of us. I'm going to do the same thing. I am going to now go into the book, and we are going to go deeper into understanding the why we are here. All right. Okay, give me a second. The same thing with these cards. It doesn't have numbers on them, so I would have to kind of look it up. So just bear with me. All right. It says here, you are here for a reason. No soul just shows up on earth arbitrarily. There's a reason and a plan. Never feel as though you do not have a purpose. Nothing is further from the truth. There are a finite number of souls experiencing this earth plane at this moment, and you are one of them. You are essential. You have a function to serve not only for yourself, but for all other beings who have agreed to join you here. There is a divine plan in motion, and you are an integral part of it, not any more or less than anyone else. The spiritual realms don't attach significance or importance to certain souls. All play their part equally. The human psyche is drawn to comparisons. Better than, smarter than, richer than, more powerful than, more famous than. The guides ask you to respect yourself for the courageous, essential, and loved member of spirit that you are. This card is a reminder to you that no matter the earthly circumstances, you have purpose and you are needed. That's very beautiful. So you see, we all have a purpose. You are needed. But now what it calls for is for you to take that time to go inside, take a journey within yourself, to tap in to see what that purpose is. And the best way to actually do that is to know what your life path number is. We all have life path numbers. And you can do that by breaking down your birth date. And you break it down to a single digit, so that whatever number comes out at the end, you will be able to see what your life purpose is. I'm going to see, I might be able to give you a breakdown of it as well in my description box. All right, so this way you can figure out how to find out what your life purpose is. All right, so again, we are here for a reason, and we all have a purpose. You have to tap into to see what your life purpose is all about. Now we're moving on to release toxic relationships. Now, this one here, how many times have we come across understanding that at times, whatever relationship, this can be, of course, more importantly, this could be a love relationship, an intimate relationship, this can be a friendship, it can even be a family member's relationship, because believe it or not, family too can be toxic, all right? So releasing relationships is very important to do. Why? Because toxic energy, everything is energy, and anything that is toxic, it's going to keep us on the low, while we are trying to vibe high on a low frequency and to have positive vibrations. Anything that is less than that is toxic and low. But also keeping around and being surrounded by toxic energy, people, situations, it's going to put a block or a delay on what it is that we are trying to do for ourselves. So again, you would know how this will resonate if this is your story, if you are dealing with a situation, with a person, or with people, with friends that can be toxic. There's a call, a need to let them go, to release it. Because while you are trying to figure out your life purpose, guess what? Also, while you do this, it's going to give you that insight. It's going to reveal to you, actually, believe it or not, when you tap into your divine power, it's going to give you a heads up as to the toxic energies that are around you. And you would know who you need to release and let go from around you. Because as I said, as you're striving to become a better version of yourself, toxic energy is something that has to go. It must go. And if it means friends, if it means family, Sometimes in doing so, it hurts because this is people that we may have grew up with. It's people that we may live with. If it's a situation that is not healthy and it is bringing you pain, it's bringing you stress, it's bringing you anxiety, it's giving you a nudge that it might be time to let it go. All right? So that is all I'm going to say on that, but we are going to go in deeper and see what further messages and additional meanings that this will mean for you. Good, I went right to it. It says, in order for a soul to thrive, it needs to be in an environment of love and harmony. When there is discordance or imbalance, the soul suffers and the body is often left with emotional or physical pain. Oftentimes, souls like you who are making progress on their spiritual path will attract others who may be drawn to your light and can siphon off your energy, leaving you feeling depleted and empty. It is always the first impulse of the evolved soul to want to assist their fellow travelers who seem to be struggling. But there comes a time when you must realize in common and that it is best that you part ways. No matter how painful, it's best to let go. Sometimes a soul will be brought into your journey, and just so you can prove to yourself that you have the wherewithal to release them. Toxic relationships come in all forms and can be detrimental in many ways. In your life, attempt to release those who are not in concordance with your being and do not inspire your soul. You may need to restructure your sense of healthy boundaries with people in your life. Do not allow your kindness to be mistaken as an entry for others to mistreat you. Life is too short to be with others who are not enjoying the adventure and aren't helping you co-create a world you want to live in. I think it's very straight to the point. And so if some of you are in a situation that you are surrounded by people, friends, even family members, unfortunately, if it's not serving your highest good and it's not bringing positive energy to you, and those energies are depleting you, draining you. Every time, how would you know as well if an energy is toxic? Spend time. When you spend time with people that you connect with, see how they make you feel when you connect with them. If you feel stressed, if you feel some type of anxiety, if you feel that the love that you want to show them is just not happening, that's a sign to let them go. Versus people that when you surround yourself with, it's a different feeling, it's a different vibration, it's a different type of energy. It's one that uplifts you, one that inspires you, one that makes you feel good and happy. Then that's a non-toxic energy that you want to keep around. All right? So you would know how to balance out that situation for you if you are dealing with anything, like I said, that you feel you need to let go. All right? Don't hesitate. Let it go. And then the last card for today, it says, make each day count. Make each day count. Regardless of the challenges, regardless of the obstacles along the way, always see good, always think positive, always feel positive, and to make those blessings count. Why? Because they're so... I don't know what is going on. All right, sorry for that. What I was saying, I lost my thought. Anyway, when we make each day count, I know what I was going to say, is that we should make each day count because there are many people that take it for granted. And unfortunately, they didn't live around or didn't live long enough to be able to understand what it was to make each day of their lives count. So you don't want to find yourself where you regret that you didn't make life to the best. See the best, see the positive, see how you can make your day the best. Put a smile on your face. Find ways to help people. Do whatever it is that's going to give you that positive vibration, all right, to make that day count. All right, we're going to wrap it down. We're going to wind it down. We are going to get the final extended additional message for this, and then we are going to end this video, as I didn't want it to be too long, but like I said, because it is the first video on this channel with everything that was said and that I wanted to bring out, I think it would be worth it. All right, so let's see. Here we go. Make each day count. So, what does it really mean? Remember that time for the spirit Remember that time for the spirit world doesn't exist. Everything has happened, is happening now, and will happen if occurring at this moment. But because the physical dimension has stars, moons, and planets, you have neatly divided sections of time at your disposal. Each day is a new day, which affords you a brand new outlook and choices to make. Yesterday is gone forever. You never have to relive that again. Now, with each new day, count the moments and fill each one with compassion. Discover things about yourself you never have before. Involve yourself in new activities, such as volunteering or learning to play a musical instrument. Question your beliefs and values. Read inspirational poetry, or begin a physical workout regimen. Nurture the people in your lives. Assist them in seeing themselves differently. Always remember that your spirit is all about expansion and growth. You must give yourself permission to be alive with each new day and not wait until life ends. Just what I just said. Learn from all those before you who have made the mistake of waiting for tomorrow to forgive, to love, or to smile. Then it was all over. That's just what I just said. And they were left with nothing but regret. You have come back upon this planet to experience everything you can in a physical vibration. Don't hold back. So I think that was very self-explanatory, to the point. I think that we do take for granted each day that comes upon us. And when we do that, somewhere along the way, we are going to regret that. We are going to regret that we didn't live for the day. Take each day as it comes. Don't think about yesterday, because yesterday have gone. Don't think about tomorrow, because we're not there yet. Think about the present time. Think about the here and the now. And to be thankful that you were able to be around to even think about the good things that will happen for you for that day, regardless of the challenges, regardless of the obstacles. All right, my masculine audience in the making, I really truly hope that this was a very inspirational, motivational reading. I hope that going forward, although right now I am talking to a blank audience, I know that my vibes and my attitude and my positive inspiration for you, that I will gain my viewership and the subscriptions that will help me to support this channel, because like I said, you guys need love, you need encouragement. So I really hope that you found the inspiration that came from this channel today very inspiring. If it was, you know what to do. Give me that thumbs like button. Subscribe to this channel, and then share with your fellow friends and your family so they can get on board and get some inspiration. But last but not least, if you are empowered and you feel empowered today, starting from today, don't worry about tomorrow. Don't even worry about the past and what has happened. And don't worry about those labels. Think about starting today. This is the day that you are going to empower yourself and step into the warrior that you were meant to be. All right, everyone. So with that being said, I'm wishing all of you a wonderful Wednesday. And until next time, peace, love, and light. Namaste. Bye.